Hey everybody out there, Sean Hatzel here with Get Lean After 40. In today's video, I want to share how people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s can prevent muscle loss and metabolic slowdown when dieting. So I want to share 4 simple, scientifically backed tips. Now speaking of science, somewhere on this video you're also going to see a link to click or tap. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share something very special with you. A one-day protocol specifically designed to help people over 40 years old boost hormones and metabolism. Now I personally have used this for over 10 years in a row to stay in amazing shape because it's all backed up by the latest scientific research. I will share that at the end of this video. Now, what are the 4 things that you can do if you're over 40 years old to prevent muscle loss and metabolic slowdown when dieting? Well, you must strength train at least 3 or 4 days per week. You must avoid excessive cardio. You must increase your protein intake and have protein in every meal. And you must time your carbs the right way. So let's briefly talk about each one of these things and how it works so you know how to apply it to your plan. So the first thing is to understand that if you're a female over 40 years old or a male and you're worried about bulking up from weight training, that is a myth. And in fact, muscle equals metabolism over 40 because it's going to prevent muscle loss. When you lose muscle, the metabolism slows down. Now you have to remember too that if you're a pear or an apple-shaped body, and all you do is excessive cardio and eat right, you're gonna get some temporary results, but you're gonna end up being a smaller pear or apple. When you weight train, you have something lean, toned, and sculpt to show for it after you get your results. Now, that's not the only reason why. Remember, when you're done doing a cardio session, research shows that your metabolism is back to baseline or normal within about an hour. But when you're done doing an intense weight training session, it can take up to 42 to 48 hours before the metabolism slows down. In fact, research shows that protein synthesis, your body's ability to absorb protein, is increased for up to 2 days after a weight training session. The second tip you must use to prevent metabolic slowdown and muscle loss is you must avoid excessive cardio. So I recommend that instead of doing cardio, walk briskly a couple times per week and do about 2 sessions of higher intensity cardio per week and get rid of your cardio. Stop doing cardio because research shows if you're over 40 and you do excessive cardio, you can increase cortisol, you suppress your thyroid hormones, you increase more free radicals, and you increase your hunger and your cravings. So stop doing cardio and start using something that's based on your current hormonal condition. The third one is eating protein in every meal. So you must increase your protein intake because protein boosts your metabolism, and it boosts the amount of calories you burn because when you eat protein, it has a 30% higher thermic effect than fats or carbohydrates. So simply by consuming a protein in every meal, you're boosting your metabolism and burning more calories. Now, protein also preserves muscle, and research shows, I have a study right here, people who eat a high protein diet obsess less about food and have less late night cravings, so it's gonna help you eliminate your hunger and your cravings. Now, the fourth and final one is the most important because it helps boost your over 40 hormones. And this is the foundation of my over 40 hormone reset diet, the one-day hormone resetting protocol that you'll learn about by clicking or tapping the link around this video. And that is to time your carbs the right way. So things like potatoes, right? Things like this lentil black bean pasta, things like these oats, these healthy carbs, cassava flour wraps, all these carbs will help boost your over 40 hormones. You just have to time them the right way. So, believe it or not, you want to eat one of your largest carb servings of the day at least 3 or 4 days per week at dinner time because research shows that if you're over 40, it regulates your cortisol cycle and it coaxes your brain into releasing melatonin, which induces deep sleep and helps your body release more growth hormone. Now, the other time to eat your carbs is before and or after exercise. I personally like doing it afterwards because I like going into exercise sessions in a fasted state because it helps release catecholamines, which are hormones that metabolize fat cells. However, it's a personal preference or choice. Either way is fine before or after because your body's gonna utilize those carbs as an energy source. And most importantly, the other best time to eat your carbs is on the weekends, having a strategic high carb cheat meal at the right time every single weekend. Boost your thyroid hormones and your leptin hormones. Remember, it only takes about 1 week of low carb dieting before you suppress these hormones. When these hormones are suppressed, it induces metabolic slowdown. So the way to prevent that is to go over to my website, read all about the latest scientific research behind my strategic high carb cheat meals for people over 40 years old. Now, last thing that I'd like to say is this is not just about getting results so that you look great when you look in the mirror. Okay, this is about what happens when you do that. You see, when you look in the mirror and you feel great about yourself, it leaks over into every area of your life. So your self-confidence and your self-esteem goes through the roof. You spark the romance in your marriage. You have more energy to play with your kids and or grandkids like I do. So this isn't about just health and fitness. This is about life changes. And that is what I'm praying that you experience when you go over to my website, you read all about the science. I believe this one-day hormone resetting diet protocol can change your life. Go take a look at it now. Thanks for watching this, and God bless.